Fine steering?
Yeah, it's getting a bit bumpy.
Whoa. It's falling on its own. So happy to see land. We've got a window that's kind of coming off, which will be interesting to see after all that beating we got. On our last night in the Bahamas, the tide dropped so low we ended up with 0 meters under the keel. Ant was trying to figure out if the sounder was accurate, but wanted to avoid diving in at night with sharks around, so he resorted to this. The next day, all we could do was wait for the tide to rise before heading out. We just didn't know where to next. We just decided last minute to dash to maybe the west end or somewhere a bit north or west, so we're kind of going with the wind. Because we only have the next 2-day window to try and get maybe to the US, and we don't really have that much time. After that, like we'd otherwise have to wait like 2 weeks. So we're doing 180 miles, pretty slow. We only have the code 0 since we shredded the spinnaker, so wish us luck. Down on its own. It's falling on its own. It's coming down nicely. Oh, it's in the bag. So yesterday we left Trout Key going west, and now we're sort of following the wind going a bit north. The spinnaker is still shredded, so that's not helpful. We've been on and off. The code 0 is back. But yeah, we're hoping to get the Gulf Stream soon to get cover some ground. Trying to make the most of it to dash to the US, and it's going to be turning. Not in the good direction, because there's the Gulf Stream that takes you up, which is a good current that gives you, people say usually 2 or 3 knots, which is awesome to go faster. But if the current and the wind are against each other, it creates really, really nasty waves. At midnight, I hear a snap, and I looked up straight away. It was the main. So the shackle on the end, which we've never touched since we got the boat. It's been fine. We've done, North Sea, Bay of Biscay, Atlantic crossing, everything. It's been 9 months. It's been fine. It just came undone. We tried to reel in the code 0 pretty quickly. Just before that, and there was a tiny bit of fabric, a bit loose, which happens because we've got the furler. And while we were trying to get the main sorted, the top of the code 0 started coming undone, and it became a mess and started wrapping itself around the jib. I was like, hey, let's try and motor the boat the other way to see if the wind can help us, because bringing it down would be a mess, wouldn't work. Really, we were out of solutions. So I just turned the boat, and the wind helped us sort of unwrap it from the jib. Yeah, we managed to open it again, but then there was knots in the line or something, and then I was trying to unwrap them. So that was a bit messy while the code 0 was half open. Yeah, so I'm tired.
Where is he? Oh, there he is! Looks like a pop-up. What is that, Pokey?
No, we release it. We're not eating it. No.
Yes! Like popping bait,
All green bits.
Yeah, look at this fish.
Okay, and put him back. Say bye, guys.
Ready, bye-bye, fishy. Wait, I think I know what it is. Bye-bye. Can I help you?
You can. Do you want to peel?
Yeah.
Okay. You peel and I chop. Or a bit hard.
Oh, are we in the med yet?
Still in the Bahamas. This is the last
Yeah.
fresh food we have though. Everything else.
Ah! No. It was one. It's like basically 2 meters deep under.
Yeah, it's a bit sketchy, but.
2 flags.
What flag is this?
It's big.
And?
Friend.
France.
Mama, Dada.
23 hours to go.
Yay! We have a friend who's driving near Charleston now, so 300 miles north of us. We've been keeping an eye on the forecast and everything. You know, we're maybe 30 hours away. And he said it's probably not a good idea because the wind is 40 knots offshore and 3+ meter waves. We can't find that anywhere in the forecast, so this is what scares us about like the coast. So we're getting the code 0 down. We definitely won't need it. It's in the way. We're putting a reef in the main to be ready, so that if it does start blowing, like, that will be ready. It is what it is, so we shall see. It's really nice to be riding the Gulf Stream. It's incredible. We are at 13 knot true wind speed, and we're going at 10, 9 to 10, 9.8. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, 10. The waves are getting much bigger behind us. It's always hard to tell. Antoine's hand steering. He's never hand steered before because the autopilot is struggling with the waves. So yeah, we've never had to do that. But yeah, Max's train is gone. I'm trying to pack everything away because things have been falling. Hand steering.
Yeah, it's getting a bit bumpy, and then the pilot is needing a rest.
We've never hand steered.
No, but I heard the chain when I
Skip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty bad, so I don't want to break anything.
Never looks that bad.
Remember
Beautiful.
the Bahamas?
Let's go back.
It's Cape Hatteras.
Yeah.
No rocket launching today, so
Rocket
tomorrow.
Rocket impact area.
Yeah.
New York was another. I think it was 600 from Charleston. Yeah, 7. But from Charleston, I think it was 600. Anyways, it's a long way. My mind might have changed. Unless we can do the canal. So the first of many lessons sailing the US East Coast were the storms. They were building up faster than the forecast was showing. So we pulled up a live lightning tracker. And yep, we were the blue dot. And all around us, those orange dots, were strikes. At first, we felt like we were completely surrounded. And then we zoomed out and saw what was actually coming. And we were like, okay, we have to turn towards land. We had already passed Cape Canaveral. So heading south now wasn't an option. That's when we learned lesson number 2. Finding a safe anchorage on the East Coast is hard. Between shallow waters, the shifting sandbars, strong currents, and the lack of protected anchorages, there aren't many places to hide here. Our best option now was St Augustine, which is still 80 miles away, roughly 13 hours in these conditions. The wind also kept shifting and was about to turn in our face, which meant we had to motor really hard the entire way. Whoa. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin. The last 24 hours, never been, more afraid on the boat. Yeah, it was the worst night we've had. We were having a good start, you know, going down the Gulf Stream. 10, 11 knots was amazing. Yeah, my worst nightmare, which is lightning and thunder and storms on a boat, happened, and I was lying down. And then I hear Antoine like fidgeting with all the electronics, and I was like, what is he doing? He was disconnecting everything just in case we got struck, that it wouldn't damage, at least try and save stuff. Things were going in the microwave. We were disconnecting and putting everything there. We had our grab bag ready to go, and we have a grab box and everything. This is a submarine. And so we kept making our way up, and then it turned against us, and we've been 12 hours maybe head to wind, motoring, trying to get to St Augustine. Much easier to enter. It's obviously daylight now. We might get there at like 6-7 p.m. And just rest for a day or two at least, see what we have to do before we can keep moving up. But very tired parents here. Are all the pedals in? Did you take Max's pedal? Okay. So Ant needs my help now because they changed the channel markers so they're not on the map. I can't see anything. The water's very brown. That's what, good? Oh, times have changed. We were in the Bahamas like 2-3 days ago. There's a marker here, you see it, right? Yeah. So happy to see land. Smells fishy. Oh, they have dolphins here, Anne. Whoa, did you see that jump? We grabbed a mooring bar on St Augustine and checked in with the border force online. But we then got flagged for an in-person check thanks to a bug in the passport scanning system. And now, of course, immigration was closed here today and tomorrow. So our next best option was to drive an hour to Jacksonville, which we gladly chose over being stuck all day aboard. Where are we going? Immigration? We've got a window that's kind of coming off, which will be interesting to see after all that beating we got. It's squeaking on the inside. Doesn't look worse. Waiting for our Uber to go to Jacksonville. It's not a place we thought we'd visit. The Uber's here in 5 minutes, but then the drive is about an hour. From Bahamas to this. I know, that's scary. And whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Wow.
It was not like this before.
There's current, there's wind.
There's wind going
Oh, we're gonna get wet.
Going this way now. Ah! Oh, there is. Oh, that is giant. That is giant.
Bye, Tranquila. Yesterday was very different, wasn't it, Max? So calm. St Augustine at sunset yesterday because we really don't want to be caught in storms. There's good wind. We're like, hey, let's go now. They're trying to head to Charleston, and then we're like, oh, maybe let's stop in Savannah. And then we saw there might be thunderstorms, so we're not sure where we're going. We're gonna still try and go to Savannah, but we're much closer to shore. The engines are on. We're gonna try and make it before sunset. It's like midday now. How's your lunch?
Where's the person? Not bothering me.
Oh, it smells like burnt flies. Oh, here's one on the pedal. Oh, you got him.
I got him.
Here's one.
They're very relaxed flies. They don't really do anything. It's not like the Australian one that go on your face.
Yeah, they're not on the... Yeah, but they're stressing me out.
I know, it's me too.
So, luckily we were already turning into anchor. I don't even know where we are. And the wind literally just turned. We were sailing, just turned. And we're at 28 knots head to wind now. Nice brown water. The Bahamas feels like a distant memory. Very tired. I managed to nap. We're just gonna have a break here and then try and go to Charleston tomorrow. But yeah, it's very stormy out there. We do not want to repeat what happened the other day. And it'd be nice to get off the boat, but at this point just hiding from a storm is just all I could ask for. But yeah, the kids are keeping busy with some flies. How nice. Just trying to anchor. The wind is blowing 30 knots that way. And as soon as we put the anchor down, it's all twisted. Yeah, but you see it's pushing us that way, but the tide's coming in and then the wind's going that way, but then that's pushing us that way.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't fight this wind. Whoa! Something huge just jumped. Did you see it? We don't know which way we're drifting. We're just going in circles. There's wind, current, everything's different direction. We don't know what's going on. It's like doing a circle. It's very, very cold. Yeah, I want to show you guys the water because it's quite a change from the Bahamas. But we saw the biggest turtle, right, Max? Again, it came back, and Max says it's a what? Loggerhead? Leatherback? I don't know if they exist here, which ones, but I feel like it's too cold for any turtle, but they're here. Definitely saw it. You found bait?
Yeah, crab.
Yeah, crab. You never know this.
What, on the... Oh, on the boat?
Yep.
Ah.
You know what?
How did this guy...
I don't know.
I'm going to tackle this anchor. Got a bit of PTSD from how many turns this thing did the other day. So let's see how long it takes me. How's life up there? In the sun.
Far away from the corridor down to earth. Not too bad.
Mine too.
Oh,
What is it?
Or horseshoe crab.
Horseshoe crab.
But his legs are gone.
But it looks like a stingray.
It's a crab because it has legs under here, but I know where they're gone. But I've never seen a horseshoe crab, and even on a beach, that's crazy.
I can hear some sewing inside.
So cutting the rig off. We're just becoming a powerboat.
That looks painful. But is
just-
it all bent?
I can't take it out. It's
Really?
Just, yeah, it's just too bent. And yes, cutting it off and then replacing this.
With a soft shackle. The thing we lost on top of the main is what he wants to to replace it with.
See that? Yes!
Oh, right here.
Right open.
Slow.
Right on us. Oh, wow.
Caribbean.
We're off. We didn't actually get to go into Savannah. It was a long boat ride. We considered dinghying, but that would take at least an hour and then an hour back. Sad to miss it. We really wanted some proper land time, but we like the little corner here that we've been hiding away, and we've had some time to sort of route plan a little bit because the weather has been really unpredictable, and the windows are not as big as we wanted them, so it's sometimes a day at a time, 12 hours at a time. Like, we'll take what we can get. We're supposed to meet friends in Charleston tomorrow, so leaving now at sunset, hoping to get there by midday, and yeah, we'll be there until probably Monday. Tomorrow's Monday, till Thursday, and then try slowly make our way again. There's not a huge window, but we've got about 15 days now to be in the Chesapeake area to haul out the boat, do some anti-fouling and a bunch of work to the boat before we go to Bermuda and back to Europe. But for now, just soaking in these sunsets.
Tropical vibes in South Carolina.
We're in Georgia still. Border. We're crossing the border. We are. Getting ready for battle. Charleston was the perfect spot to slow down for a couple nights. We got to rest on a quiet dock, pick up some much needed boat parts, and catch up with friends celebrating a 60th birthday on board. The kids had an absolute blast at the incredible aquarium and the children's museum, and we loved wandering through Charleston, soaking up the history and exploring all the little corners of the city. We're leaving Charleston. We had a great time. I think we were here.
I really like the kids museum and aquarium.
2 nights. So we arrived. We stayed at the Safe Harbor City Marina.
Yeah.
Great location. They have a shuttle that takes you to town every hour and to the ship chandler, which is great. We need to load up. We're going up the coast.
Because we just run out of food.
we had a big crossing from Bahamas. We hadn't had much food. Just trying to make sure we can meet our friends to go around to Cape Hatteras.
Can you pins? I want to go to Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Yes.
Georgetown, Bahamas.
Yeah, can we go back to Bahamas,
South
please?
Carolina.
Georgetown. Reroute to Georgetown, Bahamas. He just flew past. Hold on, guys. Oh no.
Is he allowed to do that?
That was a huge fish. Hold on. Gosh. Oh my god. What a jerk. It's okay, guys.
Papa?
This stuff just pisses me off because there is so much space that this boat could go, and they flew past us. The wake that they create is insane. So I just woke up, had a bit of a nap with the kids. I think it's like 10 or 11 p.m. now. We are approaching Georgetown, and we actually didn't hear it on the radio because we don't have our PHF when we're in marinas. So we were in Charleston. We didn't hear the Mayday call or the fan, but our friends did. Coincidentally, on the WhatsApp group that we're going up the coast with, and they were like, "Oh, be careful going to Georgetown. There's a sunken boat." And I'm like, "What? Okay, we can see it." And just rang in the Coast Guard now. And the Coast Guard was saying that the boat is still there. It's next to the jetty. But it's pitch black. We can't see anything. So we asked them if they knew roughly where it was. And they're like, "Oh, it's next to the jetty." We're like, "Great, that's helpful." Now they just called us again and they're like, "Oh, let us know if you see it." They're like kind of asking us where it was. So luckily we did spot a light on, which means it's still working somehow from the mast, I think. Seems quite submerged. There's a white mast light next to the green channel marker, so I hope that we've avoided that because that's not what we want right now. We can't keep sailing because the wind is turning north, so against us. But I think that's it there. I don't see anything else. I can see that white light, and it seems pretty submerged.
You can see a white light halfway between green marker 5 and green marker 5A, which looks like it's on the jetty, but we can't confirm it is the vessel.
Roger, Captain. That is a good copy. Thank you. Coast Guard will be standing by 016 if you see anything further. Coast Guard send this home now.
So we've just reported to the Coast Guard that we think that's the boat that we can see, but we're entering the channel. There's so many markers. They're not on here, so we're just going by what we can see. Some green and red flashing lights. And yeah, it's not ideal to be anchoring at this time, but it was just very slow sailing today. It was pretty good, but the wind's going to turn against us. There's no point, so we're going to stay here the night. And tomorrow night probably looks good, so we can cover some ground. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully we can anchor and get some sleep. The kids are sleeping already. Cushion from the sailboat. Could be.
Which sailboat?
The one that sunk yesterday, just there.
Yeah, we need one, yeah.
It is a cushion. Do you want to go grab it?
When did it sink?
Yesterday.
What?
It's coming, it's coming.
Ah, this is heavy.
It's jellyfish. Ah.
Jellyfish.
Ah, look at this.
Found a brand new spin lock knee pad.
On that beach.
And we had found that cushion earlier. It's a shame, but I think it's from the sailing boat. There's some stuff there, Max.
Nice.
We'll see if we can find the other pair.
Wow.
That looks like a good size for what we need for the fishing box, Max. I think it's a good size.
Yeah, it is a good size.
Shame.
That's good.
We're passing by now because when we came in it was dark and now it's daylight as we're leaving Georgetown. And it only happened 2 days ago, and you can see the sailboat is pretty much all sunken except the mast is sticking out, probably maybe half of it, and the sail is still on. It's just my heart for this poor guy. He was solo sailing, I think, apparently, and they rescued him. It was all fine. It was during the daytime, I think. So sailing around Cape Hatteras has a reputation for being one of the worst stretches of the US East Coast. The Gulf Stream here rides close to shore, and when the wind blows against the current, steep and confused seas can form in an instant. Add in stormy weather, shifting shoals, and the fact that there's no safe harbor along the Outer Banks, you could be fighting heavy seas for 3 days straight with nowhere to pull in. We'd met experienced sailors that have done this coast enough times to warn us about this passage, and how important preparation and a good weather window is for safe sailing.
First clue, I'm hidden where it smells like lane, behind something that makes the air serene. You spray it to make the room bright, but I'm a treat, a colorful sight.
What do you think it is?
What about this one? I think it was the toilet. Yeah, it's
No, what makes it smell clean?
Oh, spray? This spray.
And after another 3-day passage, Norfolk was an awesome stop for a break, and it wasn't too far from the entrance to the Chesapeake. As a huge naval city and home to the world's largest naval base, maritime history here is everywhere you look. 'Look. 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 ' which was such a cool mix of sailing science, history, and hands-on exhibits. And we then got to tour a real warship. It was definitely one of those stops that both the kids and us absolutely loved.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Which way do we go?
I don't know, but I'm gonna get lost. Let's go this way.
Let's get upstairs.
Yeah, they need really What are your thoughts on Nauticus? Nauticus, is it cool?
Awesome.
Should other kids go? Awesome. We were now back to the dock for some more fun boat projects. One of the best parts about getting a little time on land in the US is finally being able to receive deliveries, which means our growing to-do list can slowly start getting shorter. This afternoon's job was replacing our boat stickers, something we'd wanted to do for the last 10 months but never had the time for. Ooh. That's huge!
Yes! Look at this!
It's like bigger than Maddie.
Well, look.
Of course, even that turned out to be even harder than it sounded.
Hey Maddie, did you see that Daddy's on a paddle? Yeah.
Alright, are you gonna make a race?
So
Why would he be on the paddle? Because he can't reach from the dock. So he's got to go on the paddle, okay?
Yeah, because you're here, I can't reach. He can't even
I know you can't.
either.
We also managed to get our spinnaker picked up to be repaired, hoping we can get it back before our Atlantic crossing next week. We tried ignoring our sailing challenges along this coast by making up for it on land along the way. One of the highlights was visiting the Virginia Air and Space Center in Hampton. We got to see a real Apollo command module, moon rocks, flight simulators, and loads of hands-on exhibits for the kids. That was insane. So he crashed.
So there's not much wind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.